Hey everyone, just thought I would do a quick screencast to show how the IMS2lesson program works. You see I've got only one of the 5 programs sitting here. There's IMS2lesson 3. Obviously if you look in the folder there's IMS2lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Basically what that refers to is which branch of the tree represents the heading for a chapter. So for example, if you were to do IMS lesson 1, the tree itself would start at 1, which means you would essentially have one lesson in the entire course. So the entire scoring package would be pulled into one big long lesson. If I was to do 5, then every page would be a lesson. And so you can play around with how that works. So you see I've got that program. I also have the first unit of the Math 10-3 IMS package downloaded from Learn Alberta. I'm just going to unzip that package just by double-clicking on it. As you can see, I'm working on a Mac, and this program will only work on a Mac. Once you've got that folder, all you need to do is just drag your IMS2lesson program into that same folder and open it. And the way to make sure that you're correct is you should make sure that the ims2lesson.jar file is in the same folder as the imsmanifest.xml folder. If it is, this process will work just fine. So as you can see, there's a ton of stuff in a typical IMS package. We don't really care about what the stuff is, because all we want to do is create a Moodle backup file, an MBZ file. So what I'm going to do is, now that I know that's in the right place, is I'm just going to double click on it. And as you can see, it's starting to process all of the content. There is a heck of a lot of stuff that does come up onto the screen. Don't panic if you see a lot of content. When you see this final list of files, it's done. And they all begin with these 3 hyphens. And basically that's just a list of all the files that were encoded into the package. So this is done now, so I can just go ahead and close this window. And in my Math 30 folder, you'll see that there is now a folder called MBZ. And if I double click on that, you'll see that there's a number of files in there. And these files are the typical files for a Moodle backup file. Again, you don't need to worry about what's in there. All I need to do is select them all, right-click, and compress those 11 items, which will create a zip file. Now, if you want to, you can feel free to change that .zip to .mbz. They're basically the same thing. However, you can feel free to just use it as is. So if I go back to my Moodle restore screen, so you can see I've got my import a backup file, and that's from your administration bar. Choose restore. And I'm just going to take that archive.zip that I just created and drop it in there. Okay, it's up. So now I can press restore, and the next screen will tell you what you have. So when I get down, you'll see that this worked out to be 5 lessons. One is the top level of the tree, which is called organization. One called Math 10-3, which is probably just a title page. Introduction, Unit 1, and Toolkit. Really, it's these 3 that I really need as lessons. If I wanted to have the subchapters of Unit 1 each be a lesson, then I might use IMS to lesson 4. If I wanted all of these just to be under Math 10-3, then I would use IMS to lesson 2. So once I've done that, the rest is just automatic. You would, just like you would with any program, you'd or any import. I'm just going to merge this back up into the course. Select the defaults for that. I'll probably change some content up here. I want to pull in all of these. I'm going to leave organization out because typically there's nothing in there. That's just in IMS, the very top level of your tree typically is called organization. So you can leave that be. The 10-3 is just going to be a title page, so you can probably pull that in for one, but you don't need to pull it in for all of them. And then, of course, the last page is to confirm what you've selected and then perform restore. And that's it. The entire package that you've just picked will now be available for import. If you have any questions, as always, or obviously feel free to give me a shout, but that is the process.